All right, let's talk about a new Hulu release in The Valet, which is starring Eugenio Derbez as well as Samara Weaving. The Valet is about a world-famous movie star who faces a PR disaster when paparazzi snap a photo of her with a married man. In order to avoid scandal, she pretends to date Antonio, a valet going through a divorce, who appears in the same paparazzi photo. Art Derbez produced this film as well as starred in it, but is The Valet a good vehicle for him?
Yeah, I thought it was, if you're looking for this type of movie, I think it's going to hit on all the cylinders that you needed to. Derbez has made some terrible movies, in my opinion. This is not one that's up there with Instructions Not Included, which is one of his films that I very much like, and I thought that made a really good crossover over here to the States. But it's definitely not as bad as something like Latin Lover, which I despise. This is somewhere in the middle. This is a perfect streaming release for Hulu if you're interested in, a nice, lighthearted movie. I believe it's also a remake of a French film, if I'm not mistaken. So it's already an idea that's been out there. And Derbez, Coda was also a remake. And look at the man, made it all the way up to that Oscar stage. And I think this is a good movie for him in terms of being a very nice comedy that is trying to have its thematic elements in there, because it's not just that she's with the valet. She also needs to make sure that they don't find her with this other dude who's a real estate agent. So it very much uses California as its setting and how it's being gentrified and how technically he would be the person who would be kicked out of his home if it weren't for Greenfield's character who's trying to take over all of that. I thought it had a lot of really good jokes. I also really like Carmen in this movie because this was her last role before her passing, I want to say, and the movie is dedicated in her honor. And I thought, as the as the horny mother, she was fantastic at it. Again, not up there with some of his top movies, but I think it's a perfect streaming movie to catch with the family if you're a fan of Eugenio and Samara's character. She's a great actress. Her character was way too over the top, but it's interesting to see all the roles that she takes. So shout out to her. And yeah, R.I.P. Carmen.
Yeah, I mean, I found this to be one of those movies that's a little more nice than it is funny, if that makes sense. Immediately that these two are going to develop a bond and learn to like each other and start to help each other out. So it's not like a movie that's going to have a whole lot of surprises in there. There are moments where I think it is pretty charming, but there's also a lot of stuff like the mom, Carmen's openness about her sex life, or the way his friends are constantly puzzled that he got with a movie star, where they all feel like jokes that have been done before. I think, like you're saying, like the ways in which it maybe feels a little bit fresher is in some of the themes they're able to bring in and some of the ways in which they've maybe modernized it. I do find, like, I'm not really one that genuinely is taken aback by an age gap, but the 30-year gap between Eugenio and Samara is a little bit jarring. She looks a lot more like she's his assistant or like his sugar baby or something than his girlfriend here. I just feel like it also would have been a little bit more believable if they had an actress who was maybe 10, 15 years older.
Maybe. I can see that, but then it wouldn't be Samara Weaving.
That's true. I'm always happy to see Samara Weaving.